what it do, what it do, what it does, what it does. Welcome back to Rise React. Look, it is still the morning time. I am eating my frosted mini wheats. Hopefully y'all like frosted mini wheats. It's good for fiber. You dig what I'm saying? So look, today, right, we're going to be reacting to a KKK member getting sentenced to life in prison. Let's get straight to it.
This KKK member was sentenced to life in prison, but you won't believe why. Welcome back, Charlie here. The Ku Klux Klan, or KKK, was founded as a hate group in the USA. The group was most active in the 1920s, but you may be surprised to learn there are still thousands of members of this evil group. Today,
White power! White power!
we'll look at times KKK members were sentenced to life behind bars, and their wild reactions in the courtroom. First, we have to look at Edgar Ray Killen.
Oh, he killed a couple black folks before. Hey, he killed a couple of black folks before. Straight up sent them to the swamps of Louisiana, let an alligator eat us. You know what I'm saying? But what the hell is life to a dude like this? This MF already dead.
Edgar Ray Killen was a prominent KKK member. In 1964, he planned the murder of 3 people: Andrew Goodman, Michael Schwerner, and James Cheney.
Wait, 2 of these people white? Oh hell no! He is a Klan member gone rogue. You only supposed to be killing James.
Had their lives ended. The 3 victims were civil rights activists. They were participating in the Freedom Summer of 1964.
Damn, not Negro. Not Negro, white. Negro, white. White man.
This was a big civil rights protest in Mississippi. The 3 men had just visited the victims of the burning of a black church. But that's when a KKK member who worked for the police arrested the men. The police said they were speeding, but there was no proof. After the men were released from jail, their car was tailed by the KKK. The KKK then forced their car off the road, and then shot the 3 activists inside, sadly ending their lives. The men were found 44 days later, buried in a dam. Shockingly, at the time, the state of Mississippi...
Didn't I just say, well, I said Louisiana, but Mississippi and Louisiana right next to one another. They buried at the bottom of a dam that's damn near a swamp. Boy, I nailed it all on the head. I nailed it all on the head.
Refused to prosecute any of the men responsible. But in 1967, 18 men were arrested for the incident. This included the KKK leader Sam Bowers, as well as the sheriff and also Edgar Ray Killen. Most of the men involved were sent to prison, except Edgar Ray Killen. He somehow got away with the crime, or so he thought. But many years later, a reporter named Jerry Mitchell was investigating the incident. He found new witnesses, and found new evidence that Edgar Ray Killen was involved, including the fact that he planned these killings. In 2005, at age 80, Killen was arrested once again. The case went to court. He was found guilty for the crimes and was sentenced to 60 years in prison. Given that he was 80 at the time, this of course meant a life sentence. Edgar Ray Killen passed away in 2018 while behind bars. It's a shame justice was only served 40 years after the crime.
This man was able to live a whole life. 80 years, like, if I was to get arrested at year 80, I wouldn't even give a damn. I done lived my whole life. I done had kids, grandkids, traveled the world. At this point, I'm looking for a new experience. Not saying that my new experience want to be jail, but he said he died in 2018. Was it 2018?
Behind bars. It's a shame
13 years?
Justice was only served 40 years after the crime, but although late, at least justice was served.
Barely.
Next, we have to look at Sean Berry, Lawrence Brewer, and John King. In 1998, these 3 men ended the life of James Byrd Jr. This took place in Jasper, Texas. The 3 men offered to give James a ride, but instead of taking James home, the men took him to a remote road. They then assaulted James, and dragged him behind a Ford pickup truck for 3 miles. ambulance. Sadly, James would later pass away from the injuries. The men then left James's body in front of a black church.
Wow.
James was found the next morning. There was no surveillance cameras or any witnesses. So, how were these evil men caught? Well, it was basically down to their own stupidity. Near the area where the killing took place, police found a wrench with the word Berry written on it, obviously belonging to Sean Berry. Police also found a lighter with the word Possum on it. Possum was John King's prison nickname. Lawrence Brewer and John King were well-known white supremacists, making it very obvious this was a hate crime. King even had several very hateful tattoos on his body, including the logo of a hate group named the Confederate Knights of America. A judge found Sean, Lawrence, and John all guilty for James's murder. In 2011, Lawrence Brewer was executed by injection, and in 2019, John King met the same fate. Sean Berry was sentenced to life in prison, but could be out as early as 2038.
Hey, they need to kick his ass every day in jail, boy. Especially consider most people in jail are black folks. They need to be whooping on his ass. I'm glad the other two folks got the lethal injection, because you dragging a dude 3 miles, then dropping him off in front of a church, bro. What kind of sick person are you? All because somebody was born black. Like, dude, check it, right? I had no choice. Now, it's one thing if you had a choice right before you was conceived. Like, hey, do you want to be white, black, Asian, Chinese, Korean, Indian? No, I ain't got nothing to do with that. I just popped up. It don't make no sense.
Next, let's look at Kayla Norton and
cook her ass. And him too. Both of them did it.
Jose Torres. Kayla and Jose were both members of a hate group named Respect the Flag. They were sentenced for an evil attack on an 8-year-old boy's birthday party in Georgia. They said various racial obscenities. They also threatened to use firearms, and also waved Confederate flags, all while drinking heavily. This took place in July 2015, only 1 month after someone ended 9 lives in a black church. Kayla and Jose also threatened after
That's old boy. I remember old boy. I think he dead, I believe. I believe he gone.
One ended 9 lives in a black church. Kayla and Jose also threatened various black drivers. A judge later declared Respect the Flag as a street gang. In the courtroom, Kayla Norton cried and apologized to the victims' families.
I would never walk up to you and say those words to you, and I'm so sorry that happened to me.
Nah, baby. Nah, baby, say them tears not. Because when I was at my birthday party, you calling me every N-word, probably called me a porch monkey, goddamn coon. She definitely said the word coon before. And she was not referring to a raccoon. Damn it.
Jose Torres was also seen crying. In the end, Jose Torres was sentenced to 13 years in prison. Kayla Norton was given 6 years in prison for her part. They were also both banned from entering Douglas County.
Why she only get 6? Why she only get 6? How he get 13 and she only get 6? Can't say the justice system fair, y'all.
County ever again. Next, we have to look at Jeremy Christian. In May 2017, Jeremy was on a train in Portland, Oregon. That's when he had a massive freakout. He started making
this game, you're not ready.
Making very racial remarks, and threatening many passengers on the train. Taliesin Namkari Mesh and Micah David Cole Fletcher stepped in. They told Jeremy to calm down and stop making hateful remarks. But that's when Jeremy pulled out a knife, stabbing both men along with another passenger named Ricky Bess. Micah thankfully survived, but Taliesin and Ricky sadly both passed away. Jeremy Christian then ran away. He was soon arrested and went to trial. The surviving victim, Micah, said that he has nightmares every night, just proving the lasting effects of Jeremy's evil crimes. In the end, Jeremy was given 2 life sentences plus 51 years, with 0 chance of parole, meaning this dangerous and hateful man will never be released from behind bars. That's probably a good thing, seeing as he had a major—
Not in Portland, Oregon. You don't think Portland is like a real bubbly place to live at? Hell no.
A freak out in court.
Dog, I think he just called the judge a hoe.
George Floyd! George Floyd!
George Floyd?
I should have killed you.
Oh!
Everybody knows you're a liar. Everybody knows you're a liar.
He began shouting at one of the victims, and even threatened to end her life, eventually having to be removed from the courtroom. Next, we have to look at Russell Courtier. This crime also took place in Portland, Oregon.
What
One
the
day,
hell?
Russell Courtier was arguing with Larnell Bruce Jr. outside a 7-Eleven, but things escalated rapidly. Russell Courtier got into his Jeep and ran over Larnell Bruce Jr., sadly
Whoa!
ending his life. But why would Russell Courtier do this? Well, it turns out he was part of a hateful prison gang named European Kindred. He had the group's logo on his hat as well as a tattoo on his leg. His hat was found at the crime scene, and CCTV also caught the whole thing on camera. He was arrested and taken to court. His girlfriend, Colleen Hunt, was also arrested. That's because it was her car that he used, and she was cheering him on inside of the car. Russell Courtier received life imprisonment. Next, we have to look at Charles Newcomb, David Moran, and Thomas Driver. These three KKK members plotted to take someone's life. The three men were Florida prison guards, and had planned to end the life of someone who used to be an inmate at the prison where they worked. Thankfully, the plot was foiled by the FBI. They wanted to end the life of a man named Warren Williams. This was over a fight one of the men had with Warren. They planned to use insulin to take his life, and then dump him in a lake to make it look like he drowned. The FBI was able to save Warren Williams' life. They did this by infiltrating the KKK and finding out their plot to end Warren's life. The men are now in the same prison where they used to work. Only this time, they're not guards, but inmates. Finally, let's look at
Not a Hispanic cat. A Hispanic cat, bro. Bro, we fighting the same struggle over here, bro. I understand left and right. I understand left and righty. But sir, you in the middle, bro. Man, bro, hell no.
This time, they're not guards, but inmates. Finally, let's look at Harry Rogers. Harry Rogers was the president of the Virginia KKK. In 2021, he was sentenced to 5 years in prison. This was for driving his truck through a crowd of protesters. The protesters had gathered to protest the killing of George Floyd. That's when Harry Rogers drove his truck into many people. Thankfully, no one passed away, but there were various injuries. He pleaded guilty to 3 counts of assault, 1 count of destruction of property, and 1 count of hit and run. Footage later emerged of Harry at Klan member meetings, showing that what he did was by no means a mistake. Although he was sentenced to 5 years, some said that wasn't enough. That's because if Harry was driving his truck any faster, people could have easily lost their lives. But now it's time for you to make your voice heard. Comment down below which of these criminals was the most heinous.
All of them was heinous. No, look, the one wrapping the dude up behind the truck and driving through. That's crazy as hell. I mean, not driving through, but dragging him and then dropping him off at a church. Them boys, man.
If you want to see my short videos, check out my second channel. I've been Charlie. Thanks for watching. Leave a like if you enjoyed, and
Whoa. So, that was pretty crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like, I understand people don't like certain groups of people, but to the point where you actually out here trying to actively cause them harm to the point where they actually pass away, that's crazy as hell, man. Y'all need something to do. I need to read a book, man. That's really what y'all need to do. Just read a book or something, because that is a little too much, man. With that being said, man, look, man, I finished my cereal. You know, I feel a little energetic. I'm about to go cut some grass or something, man. But in the between time, man, make sure y'all like, subscribe, drop a comment. Y'all know I was going to throw that in there, man. And I'll holler at y'all in a little bit, y'all. Peace.